My crew last night had a pretty involved fire, so I'm gonna run through the highlights real quick of what we did. It was like a split level house that had a lot of after add-ons, a lot of like outdoor carport stone, and then they were finished in a new room. So it had a lot of add-ons throughout the years. It was probably like 2,500 square foot home. And so we were coming down the road, and Med 2 got there first, and they did an awesome size up. And so we went ahead and like got more prepared to go in, because it wasn't fully involved, but it had fire blowing out. So we pulled up, and Med 2 said, "Come to me, we have the plug right here." So we were able to drive the fire truck down the street next to the house instead of fighting it from the street, and we're able to catch our own water supply. My boy McGill, he was stationed with me for over a year, and he is not there anymore, but they sent him in to fill in. So we had an awesome shift together, and it was cool to fight fire again together. So McGill pulled the attack line, I grabbed my Halligan, we pulled up. I kind of gave some updates to, like, it was venting through the roof, it was blowing out all three windows in the front on the A. And I talked with the homeowner. I was like, "Does anyone live here?" He said, "Yeah, man, I live here." And I was like, "Is anyone inside?" He said, "No." So I was able to let everybody know that, and that we were catching our own stuff. We had a line pulled. So we pulled our 2-inch line, and me and McGill took turns getting our gloves on, and we did a transitional attack, started spraying through all three different windows, and then McGill took over the line. And then I had two ways to come in the house, because it was very long front wise. So went in the 2-story bottom door option, and then I took a right, and there was like an interior door. I smashed that with the with my Halligan, and then I could see there was just fire all up the staircase, all into the living room, and there was so much fire to fight. So then I went outside. McGill, come on in. He went in there with the hose. I pulled a bunch of line. I got him a nice loop twisted inside, so if we needed to advance some, we could. And then I checked the back bedroom on the other side. If I would have took a left, the door was open. There's a little smoke in there. I closed it, and then we started fighting fire for like 30 minutes. So McGill's in there just getting it, and I get on my knees with my Halligan. I start sounding the floor. There's like a 4-foot hole right there at the staircase. And the room where it started in was where the staircase was to go up to the 2nd story to the left. So the wood was so charred, it was like already going through the floor right there. And then it would be unsafe to go upstairs. As far as, it was on a crawl space, so it wasn't like a huge danger to fall and get trapped. It wasn't like a cellar. But we had so much fire to fight, we didn't have to worry about like a way to go upstairs. So we were fighting all the living room, all the kitchen. We were able to see all the upstairs space, for like, there was no like sheetrock and stuff blocking. So we, in that little area, that little living room area and staircase, we marked like the safety spot, and I was keeping McGill from falling in the hole, and we were just spraying it down. And then I was pulling all the sheetrock down all around us and giving them updates. And then once our alarms went off for air, I went ahead and let the extra units know, hey, we're going to be out in like 5 minutes. So, because it's important to like transition between crews quickly, and they might not know how much air we have unless we tell them. So like when our alarms going off, we know we don't have a long time to stay in. Go ahead and get the next crew ready. So you're just swapping the knob and going in, and you're not losing any progress on the fire. So while we were doing all that, my buddy Hurley came in on the other side. He had I think he had a 2.5-inch smoothbore inside the house. And so while we were on this side spraying inside, he's inside spraying, and there's some walls and stuff. So he had plenty of other stuff we couldn't hit. And then they pulled a 3rd line off our engine and went around back, and there's an 1 3/4 line around back. And so we were getting all that going, and then we fought fire until we ran out of water. Sometimes you go into a fire, you're trying to like find the fire the whole time. You don't do a lot actually, other than search for people and search for the fire in like a dark, smoky labyrinth. but we were fighting fire the entire air bottle. It was awesome to like be able to put such a stop on it. And then we went outside, sat on the truck for rehab for a minute. They were using pike poles and stuff to break the second story windows that had a lot of turbulent brown smoke coming out. And so I was like, hey, let's put a ladder up. So we broke out of rehab for a minute. We unhooked the hooks on the 14-foot roof ladder, and we went in and smashed the window, hooked the hooks in there, and then we went and rehabbed. But we were getting that ready for everybody if they wanted to go up there and actually like spray through. But you know, over time, knocked it all down. Had a few different assignments. Everybody that responded was very good. Some people, that was their second firefighting the day. We had a very, very busy shift. We had one commercial fire go out at an old folks home in the kitchen, and they had only 2 units in service that could go. So then command did a good job. All the men and women of the department did a good job, like listening and scanning their radio, and like an ambulance would stay on call and they would leave to go. So we assembled the folks real hard, and it's nice that like we usually have enough units to fight 3 full-blown fires at the same time in the county, but it was just that busy that we only had 2 in service to catch a fire. So good job, Company 9. Sergeant Boone did an awesome job. He's one of my new sergeants and newly promoted, and he did an awesome job pumping. We had a good shift overall. I cooked twice, I worked out, we did some commercial training looking at the different sprinkler systems and everything during the day, did a little forcible entry training. We got to sit around in the bay on the couches and like all catch up and give each other some good life advice. Just a really good shift, helping a lot of people. And you know, firefighters are important. It is nice that like if we weren't there, that house would have caught the next house on fire, and that's what's cool. You know, the neighbors look out, they call 911, we get there and we keep it contained. So all the firefighters out there, volunteer, full-time career, y'all are all awesome. Keep it up, and thank y'all for checking out the story.